All right, guys. Welcome, welcome. Another beautiful day there. I hope it's a nice day where you are. We are back again to take another look at the charts here. Bitcoin is running down pretty aggressively, actually. But we kind of expected that it could do that because we want to see alts run right now. That's not a surprise to us. That's what we were looking for. Anyways, we'll talk about that in a sec. Anybody that's here, thanks for joining us. Wednesday, middle of the week, we should be seeing decent action in the markets, but it's kind of boring, really. We're just getting a bit of a pullback and not as much excitement as we were hoping to see. Obviously, when Bitcoin pushes all-time highs, you get a little excited thinking maybe it's going to run. Right now, we are struggling to do that. So the last time we were on the stream, I think we were looking at the same pattern idea, but we were up higher, pushing the upper levels. Obviously, we got rejected at those levels, and we started to make a run down. We tried to hold here for a while. The momentum just didn't show up, and finally we've fallen down through. So we are looking for, hopefully you see some type of a recovery up just to do at least a bearish retest. But, we could just continue to roll at this point. We lost this level pretty aggressively. So, it's one thing to see it bounce down, force itself back into that pattern and continue to run. But that dropped pretty nice. So now if it's going to keep going, we really need to see it show us that it can push back up into these levels and hold them, continue. If not, then we've lost this level and we're going to start pushing back down again, which on the bigger time frames is no big deal. That's what we have to do, right? We have to come back down and we have to test key levels. We're hoping for alts to be moving a bit, but they're actually the ones that are kind of consolidating right now. So we're stuck in these large range patterns. Just not going to be time, I don't think, personally, for any big move to happen right now. We're in a range. Maybe we see this hold, bounce. Right now, price action is what we're stuck in. Like that with a lot of things. Everything's kind of stuck in the same little bit of a range here. So we have to wait for these ideas to break. And depending on which way they break, that's when we can make an idea for a bigger swing trade. And if you're scalping, looking at these ideas, and you're probably trading them. Shiba was something else that we've been looking at. We are looking for these patterns hold and play out for us on a bullish idea. We want to see this lower level hold. Want to push through, and we want to make that higher high for all alts. And same thing. Pretty standard all across the board right now. hold these levels, or we're gonna break down and take a pullback, which on a higher time frame is going to give us nice double bottoms, and then alts could really see that run we've been waiting for. Dominance right now. Kind of does look like it wants to break down. Lost the moving averages here. What else did we all look at last? I think we looked at Doge as well. But again, all right, so I'm just going to keep saying it because it's exactly what's happening. We're looking to take another level on alts, but we are consolidating right now. Right, so we're stuck in these ranges. We have to see where we're going to break. We had, we were looking at alts in April, mid-April in the group, and I was showing everything at these really low levels. A lot of things have had a nice run. So now we're seeing this consolidation happen. We want to see. I mean, that got pretty heated, different. I mean, we had this set up in the group as well. We're looking at entry down in this area, this green bar here, and we definitely got the move from range to range idea. But obviously, we had a big blow off top here, and this thing is probably going to pull back pretty aggressively right now. So this isn't making a nice consolidation pattern. You want the things that are actually making some type of a pattern here. They're going to try to hold, give you an idea that they're going to go up another level. So that's what we're looking at with some of these other altcoins. Oh, so Luna is actually losing that right now. Yeah. You want to see the big time frame stuff, join the Discord. We'll talk. I'm not going to share anything more than close up stuff on here. But again, we're same thing with a lot of these. We're ranging. Lasers go pew pew. Cheers to you, friend. I love the name. That's pretty awesome. Lasers do indeed go pew pew. I don't know if you caught the intro, but I have laser raptors surrounding my Bitcoin in the start of my video. Those lasers definitely go pew pew. All right, so same thing. Virtual protocol here. We were looking at this range. Actually, there's someone in the group that trades this quite frequently, so that's why it's on our attention. Sorry if you see me playing with my eye. I got stung by a bee the day before yesterday. It's why I didn't stream yesterday. The swelling is finally down. You might see me playing with my eye because it's still kind of bugging me. All right, so see, we were looking at this range, this pattern idea. Got a break and another run up here. So we're holding these patterns, and some of them are breaking through. That's what we have to watch for. Another curve. If you don't use these, join the Discord and talk to me. They will change how you trade. And once again, same thing on ADA here. We can Okay, so we are definitely we're ranging right now. We have to see where we break here. So we could see a pretty boring week and maybe see some weekend action based on a lot of these patterns and ideas. Unless Bitcoin does something crazy and surprises us all on a Wednesday. But right now, that's kind of what it's looking like. Everything's playing in these ranges, and we're going to have to wait to see where this move goes. Based on some altcoins right now, Bitcoin could very well push back into this and start running. That would take alts with it slightly. What we want to do is wait, a couple of days here, and as this price starts to consolidate more and more, and it gets to the point where it's barely moving, it'll get the most boring it's ever been just before we see that move happen, right? So this range hit and it started aggressively moving, and as it starts to find where these final areas are, it will just get more and more boring and stubborn until it finally makes that move. Now that's a pretty nice move. Now we just have to wait for more data. We got enough data to see whether we were going up or down. Now we have to kind of wait here and see if this is going to hold. If this holds, we'll make a new pattern here. It's still going to look a lot like a rising wedge. Not that that's ever stopped Bitcoin from pushing higher. So if we were going to adjust our idea locally, now we'd be looking for these levels down here. Our original idea has now become this major test area again. Right, so we lost this, broke down, and immediately went back to test another level that we have. Now we have to see if we can hold here. We could see a run up, that bearish retest idea somewhere up here. Somewhere in this range, right? You come up and retest this, get rejected, continue to roll. Now, if you go in even closer, if you were looking how to trade the last move, you're waiting for these patterns to break. You're in a range here. We lose the range, do a bearish retest, continue down. Now we have to wait for a range to show us something here. We could V-shape recovery rate again, at least up to give us this bearish retest idea. Autobots are still winning. I'm kind of surprised by that, to be honest. I'll take it for sure. They deserve to. Surprising. I really thought Decepticons were gonna take some ground. Okay, so Ethereum. Yeah, I mean listen, it's the same all the way across the board here. I mean everything's still looking great. Dominance is going to keep falling. Then we're gonna see things continue to run on the alt side, and Bitcoin is probably going range, drop down, range, up a bit, kind of stay boring. You'll see dominance drop, and then a lot of these alts will take another leg up. Here, let's look at like a far out on. Okay, so we're looking at this big falling wedge pattern. And we're looking to see something happen here. Come around. We reverse. Have some type of a trend reversal. Whether we run up or, disappear now because we get really aggressive with alts, or we still hold this range for a while, and finally that breaks. But we are most definitely getting right there with the alt. Okay? I mean, this is ADA. There's no way that ADA is not going to go back up to these levels. And I'm not super aggressive with believing in alts or anything other than their charts, but I mean, come on. These levels are perfect. If you're trading scalps or if you're doing swing trading, you're already knowing what you're doing enough to trade these ranges. But even if you're just a spot trader and you have no idea what's going on, you don't want to be the person that's buying stuff up here. You want to be the person that's getting, this is your accumulation phase. We are in an accumulation phase for alts. You'll have markup, distribution, markdown. So this, as scary as it seems and weird as it seems, this is when you need to be looking at things. Not once they push all-time highs. So many people out this when I first started trading, there was the odd group out there, and all it was whale groups that would just draw these charts, and they would say, okay, so when ADA gets all the way back up here and breaks that level, you should buy it because it's going to go into price discovery. They are stealing from you. You need to be paying attention when things are down here, paying yourself when things, take some profits here and then keep your bag just in case it does decide to go parabolic and, make this whole thing a flat line, because alts have done it before. I'm sure they'll do it again. But you're missing out if you're not paying attention right now while everything is still down here. Best case scenario, we do get one more pullback and we do see that double bottom happen. Okay, so let's look at CRV. I'll show this one on the high time frame too. So we're in these big, long consolidating patterns for alts right now. People are paying attention. Volume is increasing. We have to adjust these so we see that nice clean pattern. And you get your third or fourth touch on the bottoms of these patterns. That's when you're really going to see volume come in. Come down 1, 2, 3, fourth time down to test this bottom trend. And it really picks up and takes the push through. Okay, so confidence gets stronger every time this comes down and volume goes up and people actually buy in on this. So by the time these patterns get to the point where they're boring, at this point, no one's paying attention to CRV because it's not even popping up on their charts anymore, not ranging. But if you're paying attention to these big time frames, go time, that's when you get your big run. Anyways, I'm not going to show any more full charts like that. That'll do. Look at the stock market. Didn't really do much today compared to the last time we were looking at. Oh, the dollar's actually been pushing and making a bit of a recovery, almost trying to do a double bottom here. See, almost like what looks like it could be a trigger wave. The dollar could push here a little bit. I'm still standing strong with my words. It's going to do a little worse. first, but it's maybe it's finding support here. Somewhere in this range, it's going to find support. Start rebounding. Right, last video we were talking about the idea that we could see, if we don't see instant recovery, we see some form of, sideways. Not, I wouldn't really say like a bear market, but I guess for this thing, that would be probably the closest thing to a bear market is when you do see this sideways action. Never lasts, and it never gets too dark before it takes another leg up. Unless they overprint everything to the point that the entire economy just collapses. I mean, I know if we were in altcoin season, I wouldn't buy that. Maybe this is where everything changes, right? You imagine. The economy collapses and Bitcoin takes over the world. Getting pretty scary up there. All right, so yeah, same thing, right? We've come down, we broke through this idea, possible bearish retest. And we could actually see, the markets kind of cool off and consolidate for a while. Maybe we're done with the run here momentarily for stuff like this, and we actually start to see this roll out for a bit. I mean, let's do this with gold too. Just, it's absolutely insane right now. We had this cup and handle, form this bullish pattern here, hold the curve and take off. Tesla is still making ground off of our ideas. Definitely found the bounce area for that one. I had a bunch of Tesla, started entering down in this range, and I had orders because I was hoping we were going to see 180. We certainly didn't, and at this point now I've actually sold off over 3/4 of my position, and I'm still holding on a bit to see maybe the 416 mark. I was tempted to sell some more yesterday, really pushing up here. I'm going to hold out for the line, and Nvidia is having a great recovery. Re-entered somewhere again, same thing, somewhere in here. Same with Planetar, Allen here, whatever you want to call the thing. When we had this little pullback here, I was kind of buying one or two here and there of all this stuff. So far, it's rolling out pretty good, and I've just, since we started hitting these levels, I've basically pulled some profits. I'm just going to leave in case things go up higher, and then if we see those levels again, I'll scoop some more up and dollar cost average back in. I do a lot of dollar cost averaging when it comes to stocks. Hey, Jesse, how's it going, man? Nice to see ya. We were just going over the idea that Bitcoin is being boring and all the alts are being boring. But once we see these patterns break, we could just see another leg up from alts. Some alts. Bitcoin really has to hold here, though. I mean, all right, let's pan out on this one. I think everybody's seen. I mean, Bitcoin really needs to hold this. we're resisting this line, and then it's become support, support, doesn't remain support, and it becomes resistance. I think we all know that's not good. Could be good for alts, though. But we are going to see alts pull back when Bitcoin pulls back. So, I mean, if Bitcoin decides to break down, make this pullback, alts are going to struggle for a minute. Then maybe that's when we get to see them, take a victory lap. What's market cap? Total market cap. It's just matching Bitcoin still, like it always seems. Basically just looks like a Bitcoin. I do see another gap in the 92 area. We were looking at this one. This is way back, a few months ago now. We're looking at this idea on Bitcoin, and we saw the gap here. And once we lost that, we assumed we were going to come down to fill the gap. We do have another gap. They usually get filled. They don't always get filled. It doesn't have to happen. It could run, and then that could be a target that we end up coming back to down the road. But we usually historically fill these things. I'm pretty sure there are 2 left, and they're not pretty. That's an old. There's 1 left, and it's not pretty. Could you imagine if that gap got filled? Let's hope not. Let's hope that gap never gets filled. Reversal. Reversal. Okay. Pretty straightforward. Reversal. If you don't use these things, probably consider it. They're everywhere. Okay, so here we go. Now we have to see. Are we going to make this V here? Come up, break through, come down to a new level. See if we can push up now. Do we push up, get rejected, or we push up, fake out, run through? That happens all the time. I'm sure. I mean, if you've been around for a while, you get this pattern, think, oh yeah, okay, I think that this is going to be a bullish situation, drops it down through, scares you away, and then breaks back up inside, does exactly what you thought it was going to do, disappears to your target. Not the most bullish looking range. Very well could break up here. Locally right now, today, we're stuck in a pretty small range. The problem is we're not seeing the alts do what we want them to do. Wow, we're stuck in this small. All right, so there's a bit of a gem. That's a pretty nice looking pattern. Three zones. Got the aggressive entry at the bottom. Tight stop loss. The thing about down here is if you make an entry down here, you can put the stop loss super tight. No problem. You make the entry up here on the retest, and sometimes it'll fall back in and touch this once more. Stop you out and then go. So though this is the aggressive entry, you do have the benefit of having that stop loss set tighter. Not looking like a terrible pattern at all. Going to keep us in a bullish range. Still pushing towards our higher target. The freebie of the day. That looks great, right? That's what we're looking for. Okay. So that's what we're watching for in this pattern then, right? We want to see this lower level hold. We want to see volume pick up. Things are cooling off. Everything's going to pinch here. Then you're going to see momentum change direction. Okay. Momentum's going to start pushing up. We're going to see this break through. We're going to see it push towards a higher level. I use the 50 and the 200. So my 50 is red, my 200 is yellow. That gives me the golden cross and the death cross. Sometimes if I'm scalping, I'll use the 9 and the 21 as well. But a lot of times I find if I have anything over the 2, it just kind of gets a little messy and misleading in the small time frames. For me anyways. I typically just use the 50 and the 200. And again, if you're looking at my charts, 50's red. Actually, I guess I could probably just have the legend up for people and make it. I try to keep it simple. I use Market Cipher a lot. Market Cipher is my main indicator. When I see things going and money flows changing into the green, and then I see one of these waves, we're really deep here, and then we get one of these waves where we barely make it, and it's like a trigger wave in my head. I see like momentum changing. See how drawn out things get. I use Market Cipher for a lot of things, but in the stock market as well. A lot of my decisions are based off of three quarters of the way into red money flow on this thing is pretty amazing. Once you switch to an uptrend, Market Cipher is pretty incredible. So I combine that with just this 5200 MA, and then you get that golden cross, death cross, golden cross, death cross, golden cross. You can kind of see the trend changing, and then you can kind of front run it with these trigger waves in the market cipher. They kind of give you more confirmation. And if you match it up with a pattern and you match it up with a couple other things, you get pretty darn confident about your idea. We're in some type of a rising wedge pattern. Doesn't matter when things are bullish, they will break up through. When you're on a downtrend, obviously your rising wedges are going to break down a lot. But when you're on an uptrend, sometimes you're going to see it and they're just going to keep breaking up through the top and breaking up. Okay, okay. Not sure I know that indicate. I think you can get a free market cipher. Trying to think of the name of it. I could probably send you the link in the Discord later. Yeah, there is someone this, and it works pretty well actually. That's the one, sir. Yes, that is the one. HRJ Trading just got you, man. That's the one I'm thinking of. It actually does work. I mean, I don't think it's quite the same, but it is relatively good working. It's a nice pair up with other indicators for sure. But obviously, I mean, if you guys have, I'm a pattern trader, big time into pattern trading. By looking, oh, I was looking at PayPay. I've never looked at this before. Someone in the group wanted me to check it out. Very interesting coin, to be honest with you. It likes the curves. The curve, big curve breakout, big curve breakout, big curve breakout. The entire thing is in a giant reverse curve right now. Very interesting chart. There's another one here I didn't. Yeah, so get used to those. If you're in the group, you're going to see those a lot. Or those arcs will literally change your life. Pretty sure everybody that's in here is a member of the Discord. This is Filecoin, what I have for it right now. Again, I don't even think I have to say anything. So for anybody that is worried that we're not going to get an alt season, I don't think that's the case. I just think we might have to wait a little bit longer for it to happen. But when it does, it's going to be insane, be well worth waiting for. And I think we're a lot closer than a lot of people think we are. I don't know how much lower some of these things could. Big time frames, we have seen a serious bounce on a big level. That would suck for Ethereum. My goodness, could you imagine? Just plays this out before it takes another leg up. My goodness. Great thing about that though is it does take another leg up. You're gonna have some pretty hefty priced Ethereum. That's some long term stuff though, right? I mean, that's a lot. The patterns you want, any time frame that you're comfortable with, and any trading strategy that you're comfortable with. Use the indicators, the patterns, and all the ideas. You combine them together, and you beat everybody else at their own game. That's all you're doing as a scalper or a swing trader, is you're just trying to be better at it than all the other people in the chat room. Oh, there you go. You guys rock. That's the way to do it. Teamwork makes the dream work. And yeah, I think you'll find that that does work pretty good. I'll have to get the chat set up over here so I can see it better. Is there anything that anybody is in or looking at that they want me to take a look at or anything like that? Or you guys are all probably pretty darn good. I think you're all traders in this chat right now. Now we have to see if this money flow can push. It's been a long time since I've looked at this coin. Yes, I definitely remember this. Way back. We most definitely I definitely have setups for that curve right there in the old group, the old Telegram. Certainly remember. Yep, I'm liking it. Seeing this volume peak up here too, growing. Looks great, to be honest with you. Yeah, you're looking for this range here to hold, and you're gonna want to see what it'll do is, well, you can see it over here. It'll just start to do a couple of bounces on this, and it'll start to work its way back up, and then at one point it will just disappear. That looks great. I mean, that's a great example of, you've got accumulation, markup, really aggressive FOMO-y distribution phase, markdown, and then you're smack dab 3/4 of the way into accumulation phase, right? This one's going on the radar. Thank you. So I used to chart about 200 coins, um, and it was just way too much. So one day I decided to wipe everything clean, and I've slowly been adding back to the list from there because I got to the point where I was charting coins so much that it was pathetic. There's no need to look at so many different things when you can see the potential runs happening. Almost anything, as long as it has volume, right? Um, but no, this is a great one, in my opinion. I'll probably keep this on my radar. I definitely see it pushing this area, starting to break levels. I don't know much about the project at this point. Maybe the project itself would determine how high it's able to push. If I had to guess, say somewhere around there could definitely be an option if we see this bull run that we're all waiting to see. Yeah, I mean, that looks really nice. Is that the one there, Jess? 23 cents? Now, not as much data. I usually just I usually end up going into Binance because usually they end up having a decent amount of volume. I usually just end up going to Binance. I don't even trade on Binance. I haven't been able to here for a few years now. Those were the good old days. Binance trading and 3 comma bots running. That was it. the couple of years that I had when I got into crypto from running the bots and doing the trading, and it was, yeah, it's quite the wild space. Yeah, that looks great. Now, I mean, there's not a lot of data on it, so I would almost kind of stretch that out a bit and anticipate it coming down again, maybe testing these ideas. It doesn't have to. Right now, you want to see it break this area here. Hold, right? It could actually be trying to hold this level right now. But it's definitely working on that reversal part. Most definitely is. Not yet. Forced. All right, there it is. Yes, you're really watching this range here right now on this one, I would say. Somewhere in this area. Doesn't have as much data for us because it's newer, but it's going to pick a direction here. It looks good, but I'm not sure. That might be a little forced. Again, it's hard to call. Not as much information, you know. I'd be looking for something bullish more so than the curve. Obviously, you had some type of a wedge there. And here now, yeah, we're making some other type of a. I mean, you could be potentially looking at a run down again. Then you go up out. Locally, you're really watching for this level, the break and hold. That is a very good day. 28x, I'll take that. The Luna, yeah, we'll look at Soluna. Pretty generic chart. Um, I've had a couple ideas on Soluna, like this possible up and handle style idea here. I've shared this one online as well, so not too worried about it. Yeah, well, the idea is that we're going to hold here and run up and do something pretty amazing. Fortunately, it just hasn't happened quite yet. Let's get rid of this. There's another way that I've been looking at Soluna, and I have two versions of it right now. This one. Where we could see this range for a while and then kind of slowly work its way up rather than quickly and aggressively. All right, I mean that's basically my bullish idea for Soluna. But it has to we have to see the market turn in our favor. Right now, this is 3/4 of the way into, oh boy, it's not looking good. Money flow to do something good here for us. I think everybody else, all these other coins right now are all like down here. Everything else we've been looking at all day is here. Or maybe some of them that we've been looking at are here because we've hit target 1 or 2 on our ideas and we are forming and consolidating in some other pattern. But Soluna, it made another high. Now it's kind of pulling back from that, kind of rolling over. Like it's not looking like all of the other alts are right now, in my opinion. Unless that cup and handle idea is going to play out and we're going to see this V-shaped recovery right up, push this level, and hit a target idea, which would be a pretty big deal for Soluna. It'd be quite the target to hit somewhere around the 500 area, if that is a cup and handle forming. And so for anybody that hasn't seen this, I share this chart a lot and go over it. We really are looking at, in my opinion, a very good chance of seeing our alt season come up here soon. This is the last time we really had an alt season. Back here, it's when we saw that this right here was this right here. Okay, so that big box there that we just looked at, that was this. That was when all these alts did this. That was back when all these old school things did their first, like, insane. That box was this. All these alts did this. So a lot of people have said that we've had alt seasons. Now, yeah, okay. That was Sol during that season. And now Sol has done that, but a lot of alts have not done that again. Again, that was back when Link did this. Made all the other price action that we were trading. Like we were trading Link back here. We were looking at this back here, like this big deal. We're like, okay, look at Link. Oh wow, it's going into price discovery. Oh, it's dumping, and then boom. None of us had a single clue what to do. I mean, we had made price predictions that we were going to see 300-400% runs, and we thought, oh, this is amazing. And then the next thing you know, things were doing 2,000, 4,000, 10,000%, and it all happened so fast, and then poof, it disappeared for 3-4 years. We have not had an alt season. This falling wedge, pushing up through as far as it can, faking out, and then dying, will inevitably start the most amazing run we've had in the past 5 years. Yeah, 100%. When things turn back on, there's no way that it doesn't. I mean, it's one of those ones that there's a handful of things on here that have the volume and the potential to completely smash targets. I mean, I'm certain at this point that ADA is probably going to see the $4 or $5 range. I Does it just go straight to $4 or $5? Hopefully not. Hopefully it does it in a healthy way, and some of these things are able to mature a bit and grow a bit and become less sketchy and wrecky and scammy, because that's what's going to help us get the things that we want to be taken seriously. They're going to have to go through that change, a little bit of a change, or else people will never take them serious. Okay, so ADA, yeah, there you go. So the last bull run that actually happened. Wow, ADA did incredible. And here we are, once again, down here. Big falling wedge. I'm going to have to delete this video. There's too many good charts on here. So do we disappear right now? Maybe not. Maybe it pulls us back one more time. We have to adjust this. This kind of, at some point, will pinch in because we'll land here. And it turns into this, that perfect pattern. I mean, before we had it like this, and then we got our run. Up and away we went. We got like 50%, but now you have to reevaluate. You have to readjust. That's how you have to do it when it starts breaking out through. You got to reevaluate. So now if we're looking to see us come back down here again, how many more times are we gonna do that before this holds that higher low, we get that higher high, and then that's going to start to happen quicker and quicker until we actually see this run up happen. Once people catch wind of that trend change, that price doesn't go any lower, everybody just starts to pile in. It's all across the board. If you take anything from this video, don't make a single decision till the price is up here, then buy. Okay, if you take anything from, wait until ADA hits all-time high, sell your house and buy it. Not financially. So yeah, looking great, guys. All right, I'm not going to drag this one on too much longer. Let's hope we get some action over the next day or two here. I'll come back on tomorrow regardless. We'll talk about stuff some more. Maybe something exciting will happen. Maybe we can find something cool together. I don't know. Maybe we'll trade some tomorrow. Wednesday, then Thursday would be a decent day for it. Yeah, maybe I'll do some live trading tomorrow. Fun. I've got an account that we can throw to the wind of leverage and play a little bit. All right, so yeah, right now we are losing that money flow, rolling over a bit. Start. All right, so again, if we're not going to hold this level, it is not looking great. We really want to hold this, try to push, or we're heading down, down, down. Let's say that this is about as far as we want to see it go. Any farther than that, probably going to rush to this. Want to see this consolidate, do something here for us. Going to give us a sign that we're going to keep moving in a good direction. All right, and we'll leave it there, guys. Thanks for coming and joining us today. I hope you got something out of it, if not a laugh or two at me stumbling over my words as I progress at getting used to live streams. So thanks again for coming by. All the love in the world to you guys. See you on the next one. Let us grow.